I was dying to try these fragrances, and thanks to you guys, it's now possible. Hi guys, I'm Tiago, welcome back to my channel, and today we're taking a look at the fragrance house, at least 5 of their offerings that I was very curious to try, and I never got the chance to because they're not really in stores. They're pretty exclusive. They intrigue me a lot because well, the brand is Areej Dore, the perfumer is Russian Adam. They always intrigue me because he likes to use natural, pretty rare, hard to come by ingredients. The oud, I know, is always natural. The musk, I know at least for the most part, is natural, which is, you know, it's forbidden nowadays, and no one does it anymore, and he still does. So he doesn't go by the rules of Ifra, let's say. And from what I hear from a lot of reviewers that I trust a lot, for example, Ramsey, and also friends from Facebook groups, and their fragrances are just something else. They are beyond what I've experienced so far. And so I'm very curious to try these, and thanks to you guys, well, to one of you guys, I'm not sure if the person who sent these wants to be named, so I won't name names, but you know who you are, my friend, and I'm very, very thankful. He said he wanted to share passion, and he sent me 5 samples from Areej Dore. And yeah, let's get into these. He sent me Walimah II. So these are all from the Classics collection. And sorry for the quality of this video, might not be on par with the rest, but I'm not at home. I'm at my parents' home, and let's just roll with what we have. And the next one is Ottoman Empire, and I'm pretty sure I will love this one, so I'll leave it to the end. Siberian Musk III. Not sure if you'll be able to read these, but well, just you'll have to take my word for it, I guess. Russian Oud, very curious to try these, and Chinese Oud II. So let's get started, and as always, I'll start with my scent of the day, and it is, I'm obsessed with this. It's my favorite rose at the moment. Obsessed is an understatement, let's say. It is Rose de Jamal from Les Indémodables. And this is just a freshly picked rose, a red rose that was just freshly picked, and there are still some green rose buds on the side, dewy, with still condensation water droplets from the morning, and it's a freshly picked rose with a lot of mint that gives it an uplifting touch in the opening, and a bit of lavender and cedarwood in the base. So this actually endures quite a bit, it lasts quite a bit, at least that's my experience. And yeah, just those uplifting touches from the mint and the pink pepper that by itself also is a soft spice that has rosy touches. Just this smells so natural and just beautiful. It's a dewy rose, a freshly picked rose, minty, and for this time of the year, spring and summer, I'm loving this. This was my latest pickup, Rose de Jamal. So let's get into our first from Areej Dore, and it will be Chinese Oud. I'm not sure what to expect from this. I will look these up on Parfumo just for reference, because I have no idea what to expect, and I'm very curious. I won't be spraying these on skin because we have 5, and I'm already wearing a fragrance, and yeah, I won't have 6 fragrances on me, not today, because I have places to go, but I'm definitely very excited to try these on skin eventually. But we'll go with our trusty blotters, because that will be the best for today. And so Chinese oud. This should be interesting because I'm already smelling something I like a labdanum. Yeah, like a very good labdanum. I'm not sure if it has labdanum, probably not. But yeah, I'm looking at the notes and there's no labdanum, so there you go. Areej Dore 1, Tiago 0. But let's see what Chinese Oud II has for us. 2 sprays. That went a bit into my mouth. It's a bit bitter on my mouth, but let's see how it smells. Okay, so the oud has a bit of, it's present right off the bat, at least to my nose. It has a bit of that rubbery balloon powder latexy feel. Wow, it's strong stuff, but it's good. It's, you know, you can tell when I've smelled real oud before, on Bortnikov and a few others, that I do have also 3 samples here that I brought with me. These are Lao Oud, Oud Monarch that I already have a bottle, and Amber Cologne that I don't think has oud, maybe it does, I'm not sure. But yeah, I've tried real oud and I've tried other brands, I cannot remember, but it's not as common to come by, because, you know, there's an epidemic nowadays of brands that claim to have oud, that have oud right front and center on their names and on their marketing, and there's no oud to be smelled on those compositions. So brands like Areej Dore, right, the stuff that Russian Adam is doing, it's very much appreciated, because we don't come by these types of perfumery often nowadays. Especially, there's a lot of lack of transparency with those brands that I was talking about, and it's not the case with Areej Dore. You can see the process on his Instagram, and it's lovely to see, like the distillation of the oud, just him handling those materials by hand. It's really good to see. If you don't follow Russian Adam on socials, go check him out. But yeah, this it's slightly salty to my nose for some reason, resinous, dry, has that latexy balloon-like effect for some reason, and it's pretty sharp in the opening. I would say, well, now I'm looking at the notes, so it's a bit of a I normally, that's not usually my approach, as you can see by my previous videos, but I usually don't look at notes, but I'm curious to get more in depth with these ones. So very sharp. I can see the aldehydes here, aldehydes orange bergamot, gardenia, rose, jasmine. I can see aldehydes in the top, definitely. It's a bit metallic, a bit salty, sparkly. And the oud is slightly funky, but not too much. It's not barnyardy. It's coming across more salty and dry and resinous, and with that balloon rubbery smell. It's weird. I'm not sure if I could pull this off. I'm maybe not mature enough. I'm not into the ouds enough, I guess, yet. I've been into fragrances for like 5 years, so not that long, and it's the first time I get to smell something like this. So there's also, well, Chinese oud, of course, Mysore sandalwood, and if Russian Adam says there's Mysore sandalwood, I would believe it. Patchouli, Indonesian vanilla, and oak moss. Definitely moss. For sure in the base. Vanilla, I'm not getting much, to be honest. It must be there, of course. Rose, I'm not getting much rose either. I'm more getting aldehydes, and it feels slightly spicy as well. There are no spices listed, but I'm sure the oud has something to do with it. Maybe the rose. Sometimes the rose can have spicy elements, spicy or green, or there are different facets to the rose other than the floral, full, sweet aspects. So yeah, Chinese Oud II, definitely interesting. I will set it aside and we'll come back to it later. Let me just note it down. Let's set it aside and continue with our journey. And this room is going to smell like something special at the end of this. Walimah II. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the names, but I'm not sure how to pronounce them. Let's see what it's all about. Whew. Potent as well. A lot of flowers up top. Very floral up top. And I'll read some of the notes to try to understand why it smells this way. So we have champaka, magnolia, absolute and Otto, Indian oud, Indonesian cocoa, Bengali oud, cinnamon, tobacco, saffron, Peru balsam, Indian labdanum, Siberian deer musk, and Indonesian vetiver absolute. So yeah, very interesting. It's slightly sweet, but not in a typical way. To me, it kind of smells like, for some reason, kind of smells like those Chinese stores. I'm not sure if they're popular anywhere else, but in Portugal they're very popular. Like they sell a lot of stuff. They sell toys, they sell tools, homeware, they sell everything, clothes. This smells a bit like those stores that have a very particular smell. It's like kind of plastic, kind of home in diffusers, kind of, yeah, it's very floral. It has floral sweetness. It doesn't smell like vanillas or tonka beans or anything like that. It's very floral heavy. The Indian oud, normally I'm kind of scared of Indian oud because it usually is very funky, very barnyard-like. Not here, at least not in the opening. It's very floral dominant. There's a bit of saffron as well. Saffron can have that slightly leathery, fiery, rubbery aspect. A bit of spice and tobacco. I'd say a mix between a pipe tobacco and a dried tobacco. And the labdanum is coming through. A sticky, resinous labdanum. And the Peru balsam as well, which has that sticky, slightly resinous, sweet character to it. Can be slightly vanillic. The vetiver is actually starting to peak. It's slightly nutty, rooty, earthy. Very interesting. Again, probably not for me, but it's definitely interesting. Very floral heavy. The magnolia and champaka are the stars here. And I will note it down and we will come back to this. Walimah II. Now the next three I'm honestly much more curious about because I've heard amazing things, mainly from Ramsey. And the next one is Siberian Musk III to be specific. By the notes and by the descriptions I've heard through the years, I'm very, very excited for this one. Let's see how it is and if it is to my liking, if it's something I can take at this point of my journey. But I will definitely come back to these once I mature a bit more my nose. Okay, so right in the air, it reminded me instantly of Yucatan from Cajon. They don't smell the same, okay? There's just the opening blast. Like piney, citrusy, earthy. It's astringent, it's big. Very piney and citrusy and tangy and acidic. Very lime and pine in the opening. That's what I get the most. Lime, a very realistic lime and pine. And so looking at the notes, we do have pine, bergamot, lime, and mandarin orange in the opening. So yeah, very astringent, citrusy opening with a lot of pine. It almost reminds me of a floor cleaner that I used to used to have. My grandma used to clean the floors with something that smelled very close to the opening of this. Of course, much more synthetic. This smells good. This smells like a perfume. This smells of quality. And then in the heart we have Siberian deer musk, the real thing, galbanum, Indian sandalwood, spices, cypress, orange blossom, and then amber, Assam oud, musk, patchouli, blue cypress. So a lot of cypress, pine, green notes. And spices, I'm not getting too much. Galbanum, sure. This is a green fragrance mainly. Yeah, very green, cold. It's very cold to my nose. I'm curious to see how this one settles, because I'm sure the Siberian deer musk will play a big role in warming this up, and the spices and the sandalwood, because so far it's very green, piney, astringent and cold. So yeah, very curious to see how this one develops. Siberian Musk III. See the inspiration with Siberian musk. It's a very green foresty scent. Now this one has me very curious as well, but a bit scared because it has Indian oud. So let's see, because it has notes that I adore, but it has Indian oud, which I'm a bit scared of, but I'm curious and I love to try new stuff. And Russian Oud II. I mean, let's see how it goes. I can smell it from the atomizer, so okay, yeah. Cacao right away. Wow, this is potent. Wow, I'm speechless. I mean, when a fragrance makes me smile spontaneously like this is cacao liqueur in the opening. One of the best cacao notes that I've smelled. In maybe on a similar level to Vanille Havane from Les Indémodables. It's a fantastic cacao. Very realistic cacao. Like cacao powder and cacao pods, freshly baked. It's not baked, it's roasted. Freshly roasted cacao pods. So on this one we have deer musk, ambergris, cacao, Indian oud, cedar and resins. So far the Indian oud, I was scared of it. I'm not getting much of it. I'm sure it is here, because there are characteristics of the oud. It's dry, it's almost spicy in a way, but it's not aggressive, it's not repulsive in any way. I know repulsive, I'm saying for me. I know many people like those types of ouds, but this is not the case. This is very chocolatey, has a bit of a sparkle up top, but it's mainly a resinous chocolatey scent, which I'm all about. So I thought I was gonna love this, and I was skeptical because of the Indian oud, but I mean, this is a resinous chocolate and oud, which I love. Do I like it better than Oud Monarch or Lao Oud from Bortnikov? Possibly. This is really good. So I'm gonna note it down and we'll go through them again, of course. Definitely got my heart here with Russian oud. And now the last one, and I'm sure I'm going to enjoy this a lot because it has many notes that I enjoy. But we'll see how it goes, because it's not always linear like that. It's not always that a fragrance has notes that you enjoy and you actually end up enjoying it. It might not be the case. But let's see how it is. Ottoman Empire IV. Man, let me tell you, my room smells immense. It smells gorgeous. It smells like real oud and flowers and resins. I'm all about it. So let's see how Ottoman Empire is. And I'm very curious about it. And I've heard a lot of good things about it, as well as Siberian musk and Russian oud, of course. Again, huge opening. It's very expansive. and it feels quality, like rose right away. And I'm getting again that salty nuance. It might be because of either the ambergris, or sometimes I get that nuance from a rose. I'm not sure if it has to do with some sort of distillation, or even some sort of material or molecule that the rose has in its composition, but I'm getting some sort of salty nuance in the opening. Maybe it's from the oud itself. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert yet, so yeah. But so on this one we have Turkish rose, Jamaican pepper, cardamom, frangipani, Indian oud, nutmeg, cinnamon, Indian vetiver, saffron, cedarwood, amber, and oak moss. Maybe the vetiver. The vetiver sometimes can have salty-ish nuances. But yeah, the rose was prominent in the opening. Not so much right now as it's settling. Pepper, sure. Cardamom, but it's not the cardamom that I fell in love a few months ago with Bortnikov, because the cardamom with Bortnikov fragrances is just something special. I don't know how they do it, but it's a fantastic cardamom. And here in Ottoman Empire, it's not as pronounced, but I'm sure it's there. The frangipani as well doesn't feel as tropical as for example, in Bortnikov fragrances, as, for example, in Oud Monarch. It's not as prominent, not as tropical, fruity feeling as frangipani can be, because it can have peach mango-like jasmine-y touches, slightly almondy in my experience. Might not be right, but it's my experience. Not getting that right away here. It feels green, salty, woody, dry. The nutmeg I get for sure. The nutmeg is prominent. And it's very identifiable, the nutmeg. Cinnamon, I'm not getting much of cinnamon. Not getting much cinnamon. And the vetiver is coming through. Like, actually, a few seconds after the opening, I could smell the vetiver. And it has that rooty, earthy nature of the vetiver, and it's dry, and it's giving here a green nuance to the fragrance with the rest of the ingredients. Of course, the rose can have green nuances. The cardamom is a softly green spice to my experience, green grayish tones. And there's also oak moss, so I'm getting a green backbone to the fragrance for some reason, and it's very woody, very dry. There's saffron, definitely, and maybe ambergris. I don't think it's listed, it's not, but it might be here. Yeah, I thought I was going to like this one more, but Russian Oud actually was the one I enjoyed the most from the openings, okay? From the openings, but let's go through them again. So the first one was Chinese Oud. This is reversed, so you might not be able to read it, and it's with my handwriting, writing very fast. So Chinese Oud. Interesting. This one is interesting. It's hard to describe for me, but it's mainly dry, very dry, resinous, slightly bitter. It feels almost spicy in a way. It's interesting. I mean, I would smell this and say this has oud, definitely. But yeah, it's strange. It's a strange smell to me. I think I've never smelled something quite like this. It still has that powdery balloon-like impression in the opening that I was getting, but in the dry down, it's maintaining that character. I don't think I would wear it often, to be honest, but it's interesting. Walimah II, which was the second one we saw, and yeah, definitely still very floral, aldehydic, powdery. Feels old school, feels like something my grandma would wear, and my grandma smells amazing, so don't take that as a negative. It smells very floral, realistically floral, and yeah, the frangipani is prominent. That slightly tropical feel that the frangipani has. I'm getting almost banana-like and peach-like smells from it, but it's also dry. Maybe it's from the paper. Okay, these on skin would be something special, but I probably will save most of these to the winter, to the colder seasons, because it's getting a bit warmer outside, and well, we're almost in the summer, so I will save these for colder days, because I'm sure they will shine, and I'm very curious to wear them properly, like full wears. But as first impressions, this is all we're going to have today. And yeah, very floral, very powdery. Walimah. Next, Siberian Musk III, and this was very foresty, piney, citrusy, astringent, very green. Okay, so the animalics are coming through. The deer musk is here, front and center. It doesn't have as much of a similarity to Yatagana as I got in the opening. That was just the opening blast. But yeah, very foresty and sharp green astringent. But now the deer musk is here, like it's here. It's a bit animalic and slightly fecal in a way, but not in an unpleasant way. Like it doesn't smell like you just passed by someone that just took a huge dump. Not at all. It's tasteful. It's not unpleasant at all. But it's keeping the astringent green aspects of the opening that were present from the beginning. Yeah, very interesting and foresty. Now this one was my favorite. Let's see if it's still the case. And it's Russian Oud. Oh yeah, chocolatey heaven. It's realistic dark chocolate. It's not milk chocolate sweetness overdose, not at all. It's very well done chocolate. And the Indian Oud is in the background. Maybe slightly dry and cheesy, but in a tasteful way. It feels savory at the same time as it is sweet and chocolatey. Well, I wouldn't say sweet. It's a sort of bitter dark chocolate with a hint of sweetness. That's more like it. And the oud is there for the backbone, the structure, the character. I quite like this. I like this a lot. And the last one was Ottoman Empire IV, and it got better. It got better. That astringent, dry, floral green profile is calming down, and it's now a bit more soft, powdery, soft woods, and it feels much more cohesive right now. The openings on all of these were pretty huge and like bam in your face, you know. And I enjoy this. It's a different experience. And it's I mean, this for a frag head, for someone who enjoys fragrance, for someone who enjoys just experiencing new stuff and learning about ingredients and experiencing real ingredients and quality and different types of perfumery. This is special. This is another level. Maybe I'm not ready yet, but I'm definitely enjoying starting to get ready. Because this is, again, my first experience with Areej Dore, so yeah. Speechless, and I want to try more from the brand, definitely. And thank you very much again, my friend, for sending these samples over. It was amazing. Just far too kind. I really appreciate that. And again, he just, you know who you are, my friend. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, really. He just wanted to send me the samples to share passion and nothing in return, which was fantastic. I'm speechless, really. You're just far too kind. Guys, I hope you enjoyed my first impressions on these 5 fragrances from the classic collection of Areej Dore, and I surely enjoyed a lot getting to know these, and I'm very curious to try more from the brand. They are very exclusive and hard to find and hard to sample, and Russian Adam does a batch of fragrances, a release of fragrances, and as he uses a lot of natural ingredients, he usually discontinues the collections because they won't come out at the same fragrance as before. That's why you can see a lot of numbers on the front of these names, like Siberian Musk III, for example, because there were different versions before, and he will not call it the same name because they are not exactly the same fragrances. He might try to do them the same, but the ingredients themselves change. He might not get the same oud, the same ambergris, the same rose. So when you're dealing with such rare ingredients and natural ingredients, it's not fair or reasonable to tell the customer that it's the same fragrance. That's what a lot of brands do, and that's not what Russian Adam does, and it's definitely much appreciated. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Again, thank you so much for watching. Let's talk in the comments, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye guys.